Hey everyone, how are you doing? Karibuni sana to our podcast, The Deep End Talk, The Deep End Conversation. I'm just hoping that you're okay. I'm just hoping that you're fine. And I'm hoping that you're well in the Lord. How you been? Maybe you can just drop it in the comments and just tell us, how's your week been? How have you been? How did you see our first episode? Were you blessed with our first episode with which were brought with by Reverend Kenya? It was so profound, it was so beautiful, and I just pray, kama hujaona tafadhali ni enda upate time, go look at that short sermon. It was so beautiful, it was so amazing, and I personally was blessed, and I just pray that you will be blessed also. Karibuni sana to our Deep End Talk, and may God bless you as you're about to start. Now. Today we have a very profound guest together with us. She is an amazing minister. She's an amazing pastor. And personally, guys, she has blessed me at a personal level. Because, guys, she's my pastor. Clock it. She's my pastor, guys. And she's not just a minister, but also a mother, counselor. She writes. She's an author also. She's a financial advisor. Yani guys, akona titles mingi hata mimi mwenyewe nashindwa nitaanza wapi. And with us today, we are so privileged to have Reverend Becky James, Reverend Becky Maina together with us. Wapi makofi ya Reverend Becky Maina, tafadhali. So Reverend Becky, karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Just in a nutshell, you can just introduce yourself to our viewers as we begin our podcast today.
Thank you so much. I'm so delighted. This is the day that the Lord has made. I must say I really waited for this day. I've been praying about it. Hi viewers. As he has said, I'm Reverend Becky James. A pastor, a reverend with Kenya Assemblies of God, CWC Gikambura, and a mother of 4, and a foster mother of 3, and a mother of so many other children, including our host. I feel a mother to him in many aspects. I'm also a wife to one Bishop James Thuo Gikambura, and we are blessed.
Amen. Thank you very much. Now, very soon, guys, you're going to see Bishop James. He's about to come, so wait, tulieni kidogo. Now, today we are going to discuss about a topic, and it's a topic that I think is cutting across everyone and cutting across just in our daily lives. It's called trauma. Now, I believe everyone here in every aspect has ever been has ever gone through trauma. Amepitia this thing you're calling trauma. Now, I don't know, guys, if you've ever gone through trauma. You can write it in the comments and tell us which is the most traumatic event you've ever gone through. But, mamas, we're about to start this episode. I would just want to ask you this question. If you can just define in your own words what trauma is. How can you define trauma?
Well, thank you. I would really love to. It's a topic I love, simply because when God created the world, he really desired the world to be whole. He wanted everybody to live whole. The Garden of Eden, he came visiting the original people, that is Adam and Eve, oftenly. But because of sin, when sin came, people lost that sanity, and so they were broken. And out of the brokenness of the world, we get all these traumatic situation events. So, in a nutshell, a trauma is an extraordinary event that happens to a human being that causes stress or a sense of feeling out of control.
Okay.
That is trauma. So when it comes, you totally feel you're helpless. You feel broken. You feel lost. That is simply what we refer to trauma.
Guys, I hope you have your notebooks, because let me tell you today, guys, it's about to go down. As you have heard, that is, she has really expounded on the meaning of trauma. And I just love your explanation about it. And looking at this life that you're living in, looking at our daily lives, can you please explain to us this thing you're calling trauma? You know, I've had trauma this, trauma that. What are some of the causes? Ni nini inaleta this thing you're calling trauma? Because, you know, people just say trauma. And I think it's a very big word, and it's a very big topic. Just in your own words, how can you describe what are some of the causes of trauma? Ni nini inaleta hii kitu tunaita trauma? Causes of trauma.
All right. Yeah. Trauma, it, as you say, it's a very broad topic.
Yeah.
We may not be able to finish it all today, but we'll touch here and there. And I must say, we have three major causes of trauma. And number one is that single shocking event that happens to our life. And a very good example of a single shocking event is an accident. When an accident occurs, you were just going on your business, probably in a matatu, in a motorbike, in your personal vehicle, and pop, you are hit by either anything. Either you hit a rock or a vehicle nearby hits you.
Okay.
You were not ready for the accident.
Yeah.
You wanted to move on softly with your life.
Yeah.
And so something just happened, and your life comes to standstill. And so that is number one cause of trauma, that single happening event. It can also be, apart from accident, we have something like fire. A fire break out in the house. You were moving on with your cooking, or probably you were asleep. Like what has happened to the girls at Tutumishi. Those girls were asleep. And now their life was shocked. So the girls that remained, I can tell you, they are totally traumatized. They did not expect that. And then number two, we have an ongoing or repeated occurrences. For example, violence. For, like in a country where violence is so real, not a few months, not a one-day thing, but years. They live in war. Every now and then they experience bomb. Talk of the children in Iran and Israel. Every day, you're not sure where bomb can come from. It's really traumatizing. You can imagine that child keep hoping, keep praying, or that I wake up one day and in our country there are no bombs. Then we also have, apart from violence, we also have some other things like barrenness.
Barrenness.
It causes trauma. You're barren. You get married, you do a very nice church wedding, or probably you take a girl or a guy, and you're married. The expectation of every couple is to have children. So if 1 year, 2 year, you're trying, 3 years, and you don't get children, that occurrence, it keep going on. It traumatizes the mind. You feel wounded. You feel helpless. And then number one is that, and number three is that emotional and psychological event where you feel like you didn't call for it. For example, an illness, a chronic illness. When you go to the hospital and the doctor tells you you have this and that illness, and from this day forward you have to live on medication, and that tells you be moving from one hospital to another, it really traumatizes the mind. So sickness is a real cause of psychological torment. Like every day you are waking up to think, I have this. In our nation now, everyone is talking about centers of Ebola. And so you can imagine, you go to the hospital and you are told you have Ebola. and you don't know how long it's going to take. You going on with the sickness. So those are the real three major causes of that. Then we also have severe rejection. Like you're rejected on and on. It causes traumatic psychologically. But also, when I was talking, let me go back to the single shocking event.
Yes.
A divorce, all a separation or being dumped by your guy or your lady or whoever it is, wakes up in the morning, you slept having somebody that was calling you babe, and then in the morning you find a note. We are done.
Hey, kwanza nowadays, let me just say this. People are being left na texts. You know, text na unapata iko read more. And you know, unapata
Yes.
text ikiwa read more. Wow. Guys, poleni. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. When such a thing happens, you did not expect it.
Yeah.
You were not ready. Probably you were very serious. That relationship, according to you, was leading to life. You had found a real life partner. Then all of a sudden, all plan dropped, all plan shattered. It causes trauma. We also have like issues like losing a job.
Yeah.
You were guaranteed a job, you were excited and so happy, and one day in the morning you find a letter on your desk, terminated. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Can you just imagine? How do you feel? Like you had your bag, you had everything, and all of a sudden you're going back home. No job, no salary.
Yeah.
It really causes trauma. Some people have escaped even accident due to traumatic situation like those ones. So in a nutshell, those are the three major causes.
You know, you said about rejection and being dumped. You know, to the young people, that looks like it is like a joke, and it's not a big issue. But being rejected and being dumped, I think it brings this trauma to especially the young people, and I feel some even are afraid to even do marriage, to even go back to date in the dating field. And I feel that you've really opened my eyes about the rejection and being dumped. But just to continue on this conversation, you've talked about these causes, and you've talked about being dumped, all the causes, accidents, illness. What do you feel? How can you explain what do these traumatic events do to a person? How do they affect this person in what way? What are some of the things? What are some of the things that we can know? What are some of the symptoms? What happens? How do these traumatic events affect a person?
Well, thank you so much. Let me start by saying the first and the very first happening is that someone feels out of control.
Somebody feels out of control.
You totally feel out of the way. You feel lost.
Okay.
Let's take, for example, what I've talked about.
Yeah.
You're married, you have 2 kids, and someone just wakes up and says, it's over. What do you do? Where do you start? You didn't have plan B. That's the lady you had chosen for marriage.
Yeah.
And that's where your life was going. Or even you just wake up and someone you loved, a very close person, had been involved in an accident.
Yeah.
It can be your son, it can be anyone. And all of a sudden, you didn't expect life to go like that way. Or probably you've lost someone, a loved one.
Yeah.
You wake up one day, you had somebody you were calling, maybe a dad, a mom, a child, and you wake up one day. Or maybe you are called, no more. So the first happening and first symptom is feeling out of control. And so that is why when somebody has experienced such, he or she needs someone closer. I don't know whether you watched that army officer at Tutumbishi. When the news came to him, he started running up and down.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
Yes, you saw it. That means the person felt totally out of control. So that is number one.
Yeah.
Then after that, we have this we call the dabda. The dabda, we say it comes and go. And the dabda, we say there are about 5 happening, which number one, we say you get depressed. You can get depressed.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what has happened.
Yeah.
And then you start denying. So you deny and say, no, I'm not sick. I can't be sick. That's not me. No, I can't. It can't happen to me. So, and then there's another one that we call argument. You start arguing. You start bargaining. You are saying, I wish I didn't ride on that matatu. I had seen that motorbike driver was drunk. I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't take that girl. I had noted someone too. I wish I didn't commit my life to that guy. I had, we get to all those regrets. And then finally the healing comes when you accept. I know we'll talk about that later. Yeah. But now there are these other symptoms now, mostly for children, and it's important to understand. Mostly the children tend to keep quiet.
Children tend to keep quiet.
Yes, they tend to keep quiet because they don't know what to say.
Yeah.
They are lost.
Yeah.
And after keeping quiet, others may be violent. No, mommy, no. They're talking about, they're saying my dad, no, not my dad, no, mommy. So they become violent. And also, we can have others feeling like they are left out, and so they tend to withdraw.
Okay.
So they get into their rooms, they don't want to talk about anything, and they are just withdrawn.
Okay.
For adults, the worst is, okay, fine. Some of them start getting angry, they get lost, and they become violent. Some are not even able to answer very simple question. Yeah. We call it dementia. They start forgetting things. They start forgetting what they know. Yeah. All these things happen to us.
Just before we get out of there, you see, you've mentioned, I know you're an expert in children ministry and children in general. Yeah. And I would just love to know if you can explain how, because I feel most parents maybe it's very hard for them to know that their child is going through trauma, or there's something that is really disturbing this child, or there's something that this child is going through. So maybe if you can explain to us what really happens to a child mentally, what really happens to a child how can you identify that this child is going through trauma? If you can explain maybe to the parents and to the adults, please.
Yeah, can I surprise you that people don't believe that children undergo trauma?
Yeah.
Yeah, people think adults are the people, are the ones that need support. They are the people that need to be taken care of. And I don't know whether you've ever been into a house where a loved one have rested and people have come to say pole. Yeah. They all surround the parents, the father, the mother, and they are saying, oh, sorry, we understand. And when the kids come closer, they are told, and then mkacheze, go and play outside. We are settling some issues. Children's mind are active and operational. Yeah. They can tell something is wrong. Yeah. Only that you are not ready to unfold. And the worst is when you don't talk to them. Because when you don't talk to them, it traumatizes them the more. And so parents, we need to understand that children are also traumatized. I'll give a short story of a certain boy. Let me just call him John. And John was living with a grandma. And grandma were very close. They were playing games. They were so sweet. And one day, grandma fell. And John asked the mother, "What's wrong with grandma?" And the mother said, "Oh, your grandma at times lose control and falls." And John was like, "Okay, fine." And then the mother said, "But John, don't you ever scare your grandma? Don't you ever scare him?" And did not explain why. So John, as a discoverer, one day decided, let me scare my grandma and see what happens.
Okay.
He was not told that grandma was suffering from heart failure. So he arranged stools up and down and stood on top of the top one and said, "Grandma, I'm falling down." And then the grandma could not contain and fell and died. And so finally they came, they buried her, and they never told John that grandma died. So after some days, they saw John trying to make a big box of carton and trying to fit in. And the mother was like, "What's happening?" Within a short time, John had an attack. And the attack, he was foaming and screaming and all that. When the doctor, the diagnosis said that he's suffering from, what do you call it? I'm forgetting this. Naitangwa nini? Hii ya kifafa. I'm looking for that word. Epileptic.
Yeah,
He was epileptic. And then the second time, he underwent the same.
Yeah.
They said, no, these signs are not epileptic. So they did another diagnosis, and they asked. So the situation, let me just say, the situation went on and on. But the doctor, one of the psychological doctor, wanted to know, how are the occurrences? What happens rightly before? And the mother said, every time something dies, this happens. And then the doctor said, this must be related to death. And they asked, has any person ever died? And they gave the story, and the doctor discovered. Because of not telling John that the grandma died, because of not saying what had happened to the grandma in the sickness, John developed a sickness out of the trauma. So he kept formulating. So children suffer trauma. They need to be attended. When something happens, they need to be listened to. They need to be talked to, because they are human beings. They are not empty cans.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if I can understand from that discussion, is that if we can look at some of the adults that maybe we say that their lives kidogo, they are not okay, if we can trace back, it is because of something that happened when they were children. So okay, I'm trying to wrap my mind in this, because now it now clearly explains why. So I believe before we point fingers to people, we should at least know a history. What did they go through something? Why is this guy behaving like this? And I look even at some of the people. You ask people, why don't you want to get married? If you can ask maybe many young people, why don't you want to get married? Why don't you want to settle down? Why do you feel that this marriage is not yours? And then you hear them saying, me, as I witnessed when I was a child, I witnessed my father beating my mother. Or I witnessed my mother packing her things and just leaving my father bare. Such kind of occurrences. What can you say about those occurrences that these people, these children, that the adults, somebody who is in the adult life, truly, most of them, it is because of what happened in their children life. Can you agree with that? that most of the
I
children.
totally agreed.
Yeah.
I agree. Whatever happens to someone in childhood and was not attended can recur.
Yeah.
And it just like a normal physical illness. If, for example, you suffer a physical illness when you're a child and it is not attended, it's not treated, it may recur when you are old.
Yeah.
Same case, trauma is a psychological sickness. It affects the psychology. And so if it's not treated when one is young, it will definitely carry on. I mean, it may manifest on that person's life when the person is old. For example, what you said.
Yes.
If a child saw the father beating the mother in severely, probably injuring her, that's a trauma, that's a wound in the mind of that girl.
Yeah.
And the girl will tend never to trust men. That is the picture the girl will have on men.
Yeah.
So every time she sees a man, she sees a bully, a killer, a violent person, and becomes hard. So it's really something that need to be attended into. And that is why, especially us who believe in Jesus Christ, we ought to be agents. Agents that will bring wholesomeness to the broken spirit. If perchance you realize that something has happened to this child, you need to be there to walk them a journey of hope.
Yeah.
We call it a journey of hope because it's really a journey, and the journey starts with a debrief. Start with a debrief of that child. When you realize some of the signs I've said some of the signs that you can tell the child is traumatized is, I've said withdrawal, I've said loss of appetite, drop of grade in school, lack of joy of normal child, not mingling with other children, and sleep disorder. You realize the child is not sleeping well. Urinating in bed sometimes can be caused by trauma.
Wait, urinating in bed?
Yes. If the child was not urinating, then all of a sudden you realize the child is wetting the bed. It could be. I have not said it is, but I've said it could be.
It could be
a sign of trauma.
Then why, you said that, and then let me just take an average African mom.
Okay.
Mtoto ameanza kukojoa kwa kitanda, you know how they react. Kazi yako uko ribu mattress huku, and maybe they don't know that child is going through a traumatic event.
Not only a traumatic event, actually urinating in bed is not carelessness of a child. It's also psychological. We need not to beat those children. We need to encourage them to stop it, because they are working hard to stop it, but it's not coming. Wetting bed, it's a real psychological disorder. It's out of control. You find yourself wetting bed. And actually, majority of these kids, it's one of the cause of trauma again, and depression, because they don't want it and they find themselves already in it.
Yeah.
They wake up, some of them pray very hard to wake up drying in the morning. And so when they wake up wet, they don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
And so, as I was saying, we need to be agents.
Yes.
Agents of hope.
Yeah.
Let's take, for example, that child is wetting bed. Encourage that person every evening.
Yeah.
It's a psychological setup. One of the way to encourage, this is said by the doctors, don't give that kid fluids after 4 p.m. Stop fluids, stop drinks, stop tea after 4. Then keep encouraging that person. You will stop. I have faith in you.
Yeah.
Don't worry. A, B, C, D.
Yes.
And one day the child will surprise you. And the child will feel happy, respected, and loved, despite the fact that he or she has a disorder.
Yeah.
We need not to beat them.
Yeah.
You're beating a helpless person. You become helpless the more.
Um, oh, I'm loving this discussion. I'm loving this episode, and it's so good. And I've loved that you've touched on agents of hope. And guys, I want us to end the first episode there. Hope that you're blessed. And the next episode you're going to be talking about agents of hope. She has touched about agents of hope. We're going to be discussing who is an agent of hope. How can you become an agent of hope? How can you heal from this thing we are calling trauma? May God bless you. Share, subscribe, like this episode. May it go viral. Send it, let it go viral, and let's meet in the next episode. May God bless you. Goodbye.